Yeah, I'd like to call the meeting of the Springfield Board of Education, Tuesday, November 19th, to order. Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola.
Yes.
Mr. Hoper.
Here.
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Parker's here.
Oh,
He snuck in.
okay. Would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, at this time, Mrs. Hannah is going to introduce us to the Springfield High School and Junior High Students of the Month.
Hi. I would like to take a minute and recognize a Junior High Student of the Month and a High School Student of the Month that's sponsored by National Honor Society. So for October, for the Junior High, we have Gavin Thompson. Gavin, you want to come up?
That's awesome.
So Gavin was nominated by his teacher, Mr. Garber, and Mr. Garber had the following to say about Gavin. Gavin comes to class each day with a big smile on his face, ready to learn. Gavin is always there to help support his classmates whenever they may be feeling down. He is always there to play someone in need a song or tell them a joke to brighten their day. I feel Gavin would be a great student to be awarded Student of the Month. So congratulations, Gavin. I'm going to give this.
Very good.
And we will post you in the building. You will be inside the office, right outside the office door, and then down by the community room. So congratulations, Gavin. I don't see our high school student of the month, but this month we have Andrew Keaton, was nominated by Dr. Hartman, and Dr. Hartman is Andrew's yearbook teacher. She says Andrew is very involved in the school as a yearbook staff member, a basketball player, and a golfer. He always has a smile on his face and is willing to help his classmates as well as teachers. The work that Andrew turns in is of great quality. He truly cares about Springfield High School and Junior High. So we will make sure that Andrew gets his little certificate, and we will also
Probably
post.
basketball practice.
Yes, he probably is a basketball practice. You are probably
Congratulations to both students.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay. Pardon?
He's going to do his.
I forgot.
Hello. I get to announce the PLCC Student of the Month for October. So Madison, if you want to come up. Some teachers said some nice stuff about you. So Madison Burt was selected as a Student of the Month at PLCC by Jamie Bowser, the Dental Assisting Program Instructor. Her recommendation was for Madison is always willing to help out in the classroom and lab. She participates in class and always has a good and positive attitude. Her willingness to learn and to help without being prompted are outstanding characteristics. Madison is also a half-day student at Springfield High School. She is a 4.0 student at Springfield, as well as a member of the National Honor Society and the cheerleading squad. We're very proud to have Madison in the way she represents Springfield High School and Portage Lakes Career Center. We got to go picture of it. Thank you.
Congratulations, too. Okay, board informal. Are you going to say something about your show?
No, I wasn't going to, but if you want to, go ahead. If you want to.
All right, the only thing I want to say is to recognize that our high school principal, Michelle Warner, husband passed away this week, and services are on Thursday, but we want to, as a board, extend our support, and support is the best word for what Michelle needs at this time. So I just wanted to make that announcement. Dave?
Thank you. I was in Columbus earlier this month. I'll update the board and the administration on a couple things that I attended. One was the Ohio Education Policy Institute. Dr. Howard Fleeter put on a long presentation. It was a 2-hour presentation, 37 slides on everything in the state of Ohio when it comes to taxes, generating income, and school. So I'll have an update for that, and the OSBA Delegate Assembly. There was a couple things that were of interest that happened there. But that's all I have, other than everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Very good. For me, I went to my first Turkey Fest this year. That was really, really awesome. That was quite a presentation. I did not know that it was so vibrant. It was really cool. Good job on the announcements there too. That was good. I wanted to say a thank you to the parent-teacher conferences. That's a big deal. Just like putting that together and get a different vibe for what's going on. And then Mrs. Weekland put on the FAFSA program with the Stark State rep, which is big, helpful, good information, and lots of sports kicking off this week, so go Spartans.
I just want to congratulate our Students of the Month this month, or for last month technically, and have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and as well also, Turkey Festival was amazing. I love going every single year. Just a fantastic example of what our kids can do in our district, and I love it very, very much.
Thank you. Excuse me. It is recommended that the board approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October 22nd, 2024.
So moved. Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Adams?
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. Motion approved. Excuse me. At this time, are there any citizens' comments on agenda items?
Shane?
I see shakes of head no, so we will move on to payments of bills, but the citizens' comments might have been more fun. Okay, bills. All right, it's recommended that the board approve payment of bills for the month of October pending audit.
Motion.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and second, Mr. Adams?
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Moving on to payment of bills now and then, it is recommended that the board approve a resolution for payment of bills per Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.41.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded, Mr. Adams?
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. Motion passed. It is recommended that the board accept the financial reports from the treasurer for October 2024, and these were exhibits 4, 5, and 6.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved and second, Mr. Adams?
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Motion passed. Thank you. Moving to item 11, which is personnel. It's recommended that the board approve the following personnel items. 11.1, retirement resignations. Accept the retirement resignation of the following teachers. Cindy Warzinski, which it would be effective June 1, 2025, and Raylyn Craig, effective June 1, 2025. 11.2 is accept the resignation of classified employee Robert Horger, effective the end of the workday, November 22nd, 2024. 11.3, employ the following as classified substitute per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening, effective the first day is signed. And those will be Laura Millard and Savar Wardlow. 11.4, employ the following as classified employees per the negotiated agreement, pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening. Amy Warples and Robert Kettler. 11.5, employment, reassign the following classified employees per the negotiated agreement, pending proper licensure. Yoshanta Beckett and Brenda Lamptey. 11.6, approve the following athletic supplemental contract for the 24-25 school year per the negotiated agreement, pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening, and that would be Daisy Shardy for a supplemental athletic contract.
That's our first female wrestling coach, right?
Yep.
Pardon?
That's our first female wrestling coach.
Yeah,
So moved.
it's for a female.
Second.
Female wrestling.
Okay,
program.
yes. So a couple things. So we are going to have 2 retirements this year. Cindy Wierzinski. She's been going to be retiring after 33 years of teaching. And she started in 1992 at Lakemore as a second grade teacher. And then in 1994, she moved to Schropp, where she taught 5th grade, 1st grade, and title. And then in 2001, she went back to Lakemore, where she taught 2nd grade and 3rd grade. And then in 2008, she went to Roosevelt and taught 2nd grade. And then in 2014 until now, she's been at Spring Hill teaching 2nd grade. So, we thank Cindy for her wonderful service that she's done here at Springfield. Raylan Craig, she's going to be retiring after 39 years of teaching, and I had to go back and check this because I didn't believe it, kindergarten. For 39 years. That is truly amazing. She started in 1986 at Roosevelt, where she taught for 9 years. Then she moved to Boyer for 12 years. Then to Lakemore for 1 year. And then she ended up then she returned to Roosevelt for 6 years. And then from 2014 until now, she's been at Spring Hill teaching kindergarten. So
both of those ladies.
both of
had
them,
quite a career.
we are going to miss their knowledge and their expertise in Springfield schools, so they will be missed. Yes, our first female wrestling coach, Daisy. Daisy is actually a state champ for the women, and if you look her up, Daisy Shardy, she's got quite the illustrious career. We are starting a girls wrestling team. When we put it out there, we didn't know if we were going to get any applicants, but we have enough to have a JV team and a varsity team. So and girls wrestling is something that is up and coming. Previously, up until like the past couple years, girls were wrestling on the boys team, but down at States, they did have 2 separate. But now I think we got 4 or 5 schools that we've already gotten matches with for the girls. So we're excited for this new and up and coming for Springfield.
Awesome. To tag off on Raylan Craig had all three of our kids.
Okay.
At Boyer.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
I'm sure there's everybody who's listening out right now going, oh gosh, I had Raylan. Oh yeah, so did I. Yeah, so did I. See, 39 years is probably a parent, a grandparent, a parent, and a child maybe
Yep.
for 39 years. So they're going to be terribly missed.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. Next, we have a memorandum of understanding for Title I services. It is recommended that the board approve a memorandum of understanding with Waterloo Local Schools to provide the Title I services to Springfield residents who attend St. Joseph's School.
So moved.
Second?
So this is something that whenever we have any of our students attending a private school in another school district, we have to sign an MOU with them to provide the Title I services.
We are not permitted to straight pay private schools.
Right.
Therefore, it has to go through a public school, which is why we signed the MOU in order for them to provide those services to our students.
Mr. Adams?
We haven't had a motion yet?
Yeah, it was. I motioned,
Dave.
Donnie seconded.
Donnie.
Missed that one. Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. Motion passed. Number 13. It is recommended that the board approve Springfield Local Schools 7 through 12 Athletic Department submitting a letter of interest to join a newly forming athletic conference with applications due by December 1, 2024. Potential members include Rootstown, Mogador, Southeast, Crestwood, Waterloo, Garrettsville, Garfield, and Ravenna and Springfield. At least 7 of the schools must commit to the league to form, targeting for the league to form, and this is targeting competition that would begin in 2026, 2027 school year, or the following year, 2027, 2028. The date is to be finalized. If the minimum number of schools do not commit, then Springfield will remain in the Metro Athletic Conference, which is where we now play.
So moved. Oop. Good.
Motion.
And second.
All right, so what this is that the Metro League has had some changes going on. Coventry left, and 3 schools were added: Talmadge, Kent, and Cuyahoga Falls. So just looking at the new schools coming in and Springfield and the size of the schools, we had met with these other schools that Mrs. Frola just mentioned to see if we couldn't create another athletic league for it, where we would probably be more competitive and, more, for our kids. So, but like Mrs. Frola said, if we don't get a commitment of 7 schools from them, then the league will not happen and we will stay in the Metro League. But I think we will know by the first week of December if this is going to go. So, and Mr. Vaughn did at our work session yesterday, gave a presentation to the board explaining all the pros and cons and everything that goes with this. So,
I'm excited.
yeah. I think it's going to be something that'll be exciting. Yes.
Oh, the vote? Smack me. Mrs. Frola.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
God, that's twice. What the hell?
The next item is a recommendation that the board approve the 5-year forecast, which is Exhibit 8.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Adams, do you want to speak to us since we have a motion, or do you want to do it later?
I will speak to you and then we'll vote, okay? I'm going to go over some of this
Okay.
forecast. I'm going to stay in my seat. Obviously, we were hoping,
Okay. Hold on. Okay, what are you doing over there?
Don't turn off that light.
I think we all realized we had 3 renewals up and only 1 passed. So obviously that makes a lot of changes moving forward. Before I go over this forecast though, we do have a recount tomorrow on both the issues. One lost by 2, the other one 1. So we're all, highly anticipating the results of that recount. They don't come that often. So if a recount changes anything, okay, if say the levy that failed by 2 passes, then what will happen is I will submit another 5-year forecast. We're probably gonna have to have a special board meeting because I have to have it, I'll submit this tomorrow, but I'll have to have the revised one submitted before the end of November. With Thanksgiving, we're gonna have to do it, and we'll figure that out. I think we'll all be all right with having another forecast. But this forecast right here there's a couple lines I want to talk about. Let's move down, Dustin, to 6.01, because this is what really, as you can see on 6.01, we're growing this year our cash balance. But then, because of what happened in the recent election, is immediately starting next year, our reserves are starting to get depleted. When I say reserves, our cash balance. So you can see in 26, we're going to be underwater by 601,000, which takes our cash reserves from 6.9 million down to 6.2 million. But then look at 27. 27, our cash reserves are going to be depleted by 3.9 million, which takes our cash balance down to 2.4 million. 28, without the renewals, 5.6 million will be spending more than collecting, which will then take our reserves into the negative. And what's that mean when reserves? That means that if nothing changes, then our friends from Columbus will put us in another category that none of us want to be in, and that's fiscal emergency. And then obviously we will be directed by a board, 2 boards, to reduce the cost to get that red line into a black line. And as we can see, that is a huge number that would cause many changes in our district. So tomorrow's a big day. They start to recount at 9, and what I'm hearing is we'll have the results that day. When that happens, if something changes, I'm sure we're going to put it on our Facebook account, and then we'll figure out what day we're going to have our special board meeting and a new forecast that will look much different than this one looks. Much better, hopefully. And we'll move on from there. That's about it. Any questions from the audience or the board?
Not right now, maybe tomorrow.
Right.
I'm going to make a comment. It scares the heck out of me to look at a possible $4 million deficit and knowing what the impact on our school our school system could possibly be. It's frightening. So I had to say that. All right.
I'll read the roll call. Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion passed. Okay. Number 15, excuse me, overnight extended trip, and the trip application is for recommended that the board approve an overnight extended trip for the 8th grade students and chaperones to travel to Washington, D.C. from May 14 through May 16. 3 school days will be missed, and all expenses will be paid by the participants.
So move. Second.
So previously, it was the 7th and 8th grade trip, but we changed it back to where it's just the 8th grade trip. So that even gives the families a couple of years to raise the money if they need to, knowing that they're going to be in 8th grade when they go, so,
That's a good trip.
yes.
Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
The motion passed.
We can skip to 17.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 17, I'd like to have central office reports from the individuals, please.
Excuse me. Good evening. First item I'd like to update the board on is Roosevelt. Last Friday, we held a public auction for the property. We did not have any attendees to that auction, so we are going to move on to the next step of the process. At this time, we have satisfied our Ohio Revised Code required items, and we'll move on to listing the property with a local realtor and going what would be a more traditional sale route there as far as, home type property there. So we'll proceed with that. So hopefully in the next week or two, that property will be listed there and we'll start marketing that out there. Next item is, I want to talk about transportation and specifically Stop Finder. So Stop Finder is a piece of our routing software that gives buses directions and decides what's routes there. Stop Finder is the parent portal to that. So we're going to release that here in the next few weeks. This will allow us to communicate a little more freely with parents via specific bus routes. So if a specific route is running late or so forth, we can send messages out to just those parents there, but also allows parents through the smartphone app to see a map of the bus route and where the bus is and receive geo alerts that will alert them that the bus is, they can set the distance, but say like 500 feet away from their stop, they can get a push alert on their phone to tell them that the bus is close by there. So be receiving information about that, how to enroll, the app to download and so on, but we're excited to see that coming out here in the next couple of weeks. And then the last item, just want to remind everybody, it was part of our newsletter this week, but just a reminder that we are under the Provision 2 in food service, which is allowing us to provide free breakfast and lunch to all students in grades K through 12 there. We've been that since the beginning of the year and seen a real uptick in participation there, which we're glad to see. So at the high school, they're serving almost 1,300 more meals a month than what they were this time last year, looking at October, which counts to about 67 meals a day on average there. So Spring Hill is not far behind them at about 1,100 additional meals a month based on the October counts, and Schropp at about 540 extra meals a month. So the uptick in participation is wonderful. We're glad we're able to reach more kids, feeding more every day. And these are just lunch numbers. So breakfasts are also up in a little bit smaller fashion, but still seeing an increased participation in breakfast as well. So I'm very glad to see that program is being feeding a lot of kids.
Is this program through the Ohio Department of Education, or is it a federal?
It's a federal program through the USDA.
Okay, I just wondered.
I have to say how amazing that is with the program, with the Provision 2, that we're feeding more students, because we all know that students who are hungry are students who will struggle to learn. So I love the fact that something like this will take away one of the barriers that our students could hit on a daily basis by providing them access to affordable, far affordable meals at breakfast and lunch. In addition to that, that Stop Finder program is another, it could help with the other barrier that some of our students have, which is the transportation aspect. We have kids who miss the bus daily, and that notice that could come out to those parents that says the bus is within this amount of, this distance from you could definitely be a fabulous thing. It also, as a parent, sets your mind at ease, because my child's bus has something like that in his district, and it is I was able to see where his bus was when his bus was running late. So if his bus was running 20 minutes late, I could view where it was at. So that way I knew it was okay and it was still moving. There was just a delay. So that's fabulous. And I love that that aspect just so supports the academics that our students work on every single day.
So a week ago, received a banner for recognizing our preschool program. No, we don't, you guys can see it, right? We don't need to hold it.
Let's hold it up.
All right, good enough.
Thanks, guys. So when I came to Springfield, one of the tasks I was challenged with was for us to receive their old ranking scale, which was to be 5 stars. They've recently Step Up to Quality, which is one of the measures we're graded on in preschool, has now switched to a gold, silver, or bronze. So gold is obviously the highest ranking you can get. I give a lot of credit to our preschool teachers for making sure that we can maintain that status, because there's a lot of work in the classroom that goes into making sure that we meet those requirements. One of the things that, thank you, that we do to make sure we meet that requirement is making sure that we have family engagement. So for Halloween, instead of a traditional Halloween party, we had a fall festival, and the students came in their costumes. They trick-or-treated down the administration offices. They get to have crafts. There's activities set up in here, and it's just a really fun time for the kids to celebrate Halloween and fall and do something with their parent of their choice. And then coming up next week, we will have our favorite foods feast. So each preschooler will bring their favorite food along with a parent or guest of their choice, and they will eat together along with their classmates. Again, just working on those table skills, communicating with their friends, communicating with other adults. And then we'll do one more at Christmas time. Instead of doing a traditional Christmas party just in your classroom, we'll do something for the whole program where they bring a guest. And usually we have Santa that comes and visits, as well as like crafts and activities, again, throughout the building. So they recognize family engagement is one of the pieces that we're graded on to get that award. So it's really important that it's important that we do it for the kids, but also it meets the requirement of that Step Up to Quality too.
Congratulations on the award. It's very all-encompassing.
You know, it really is all-encompassing. I mean, starting from our preschool, you know, getting the gold award, we just got our special ed report card, and that is rated 4 is the highest, and I think we were 3.95.
Wow.
So we were 3.95, and if you look at that report card, I mean, there are a lot of standards that you have to meet. So, you know, kudos to Christina, kudos to all of our special ed teachers, and everybody who works with our special ed population. So that was exciting. You know, with our regular report card, they're rated on stars, 5 stars the highest, 1 star. Last year we were 3 stars, we did move up to 3.5 stars, and we are slowly growing. So, you know, we're seeing improvements all the way around. You know, we've got more classes being offered at the high school. You know, we brought in financial literacy, we brought in a STEM program, which the kids love. I mean, they're racing cars, they're making bridges, they're, you know, financial literacy, Mr. Hanna's teaching that. They're, you know, learning not to get themselves in debt. You know, we have, you know, the girls wrestling is starting up. We brought music band for the little kids, and they're learning TTT, ta-ta-ta, and learning the music and trying to build up, which allowed us to keep our 5th grade band going. And you know, as Parker so eloquently said at the Turkey Fest, that, you know, maybe we could bring the 6th grade band back to Turkey Fest because we're starting in 5th grade. And the difference between 5th grade band and 6th grade band is night and day. We have a lot of, you know, we're getting more parent volunteers into the schools, great parent volunteers with stores and PBIS. We got new programs to help build up that positivity that we got going on in the schools. And to piggyback on Chris and to Mrs. Fuller, you know, the levies, those renewals, those are, that is our lifeline. That is what is going to keep us from growing and getting, I mean, our preschool was so well attended, we had to hire, we had another classroom.
We added two more, one morning and one afternoon.
Because we were getting so many people coming in for that. So, you know, these renewals are our lifeline, and our kids deserve it, and we are seeing positive growth, you know, from our teachers. I mean, all the young teachers that we hired this year, every one of them wanted to be here. I mean, and we had said that when we approved them, that, you know, the first question is, where can I go buy Spirit Wear at? And they are very actively involved. And Springfield is a place where they want to be. We are one of the highest schools for student teachers. Kent State and Akron call us all the time because they want our kids here. Because our teachers are great mentors to these young teachers coming up. And then these young teachers want to stay here for it. But if the levies don't, if the renewals don't pass, we can't keep maintaining that. So that is, you know, our kids deserve this, and our kids deserve more. And our kids deserve the same thing that they're getting in Mogador, that they're getting in Talmadge, or they're getting in any of our surrounding schools. And the levies will help at least guarantee that for another 5 to 6 years without going back asking for new money. So our kids deserve it, our teachers deserve it, our community deserves it. So
I don't want to hear that same list read in a negative. Like, this has got to go, and this has got to go, and this has got,
I mean,
it scares me to death.
yeah, we are on the upswing.
Yeah.
We are on the upswing. I mean, the work that Mary's doing with the teachers at Schropp and Spring Hill, with MTSS at the high school too.
Not as much advice.
But it's getting there.
But it's getting there.
But, you
We're
know,
starting.
getting with our youngest readers, I mean, our teachers, I mean, we finished the science of reading. I think we're one of the first districts that our teachers eagerly went in to get that training and embracing it. And we're seeing our kids getting more and more the education that they need. But we need help in doing that. We can't do it alone. We can't do it in a silo. And unfortunately, money is the way to do it. So our kids definitely deserve it.
Shelley, I think it's important that the percentage of those renewals is our funding. It's 40+%.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, and
that's a lot.
it is, it's, what do you call it, Chris, our lifeline?
Oh, it is.
You know, so it's a, I mean, and then that's the fact. That's the facts. It
You
is the
think
lifeline.
about this award right here. This is more, I don't think people understand, when we start with the 3 and the 4 and the 5-year-olds, and our preschool program is a gold program. Well, these kids are floating through our schools, so they're all going to experience, I mean, I see it every day. These aides and teachers, our preschool program is top notch. And I'm even more involved this year because I have a great nephew that showed up, unbeknownst to me. And I know he was a little wild one. He just was. And that little boy, in a short period of time, knows that there's no wiggling and wobbling in the line. He's straight as an arrow, and his behavior at home has even changed a little bit. So we should be very proud of what Christina has done to this program, because I see it every day, and it's just a great, great program.
So we will keep you posted on the, what happens with the renewals tomorrow. Hopefully, best case scenario is that the 2 pass, status quo that they keep the same, and then worst case scenario would be if all 3 of them don't pass. And we will be putting them back on in May. I'm not done. I'm not done. I do want to congratulate Kevin Vaughn he received an award, we're very proud of him. It's called the Bruce Brown Award of Excellence. And it's a very, very rigorous application process that one must complete to be even considered for the award. And Kevin received the award on November 11th. There's going to be he received a plaque, and then there's going to be a banner that's going to be hanging in the gym that says a recipient of the that we have a Bruce Brown Award recipient. So we're very proud of Kevin and all the hard work that he's been doing with our athletics. Now I'm done.
Well, that was well worth saying.
One more thing, right?
One more
Yes.
thing, yeah. Good news is always good news.
Yes.
Items worthy of our note, November 28 and 29, that will be Thanksgiving break, no school. December 2nd is following Thanksgiving break. It is December 2nd is a conference comp day, no school. December 17th, next regular Board of Education meeting at 6 o'clock. December 23rd, winter vacation begins. And on January 3rd, we will resume with staff in service. The students do not come in that day. And on January 6th, classes resume. That's the day they're going to go, oh, do we have to go back to school?
I think this Thursday is the choir show, too?
Yes,
right?
this Thursday is the choir show.
At 6? 7?
7.
7?
And is this 7:12? Is it
Yes.
9:12?
7:12.
7:12, all right. I gotta write this so I can put it in my calendar. Citizens' comments? No? Okay. It is recommended that the meeting be adjourned at this time. A motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Adams, it's been moved in second.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you so much.
That's a quick one, isn't it?